And here is the next match. Fiji up against the United States. First game for these two sides in Pool C. A quick look through the teams. Keep an eye on Pio Tuwai, the recall of the 30-year-old farmer. Masilevu has scored 19 tries, and of course they will be captained by the inspirational number 9, Osea Kolinisau. For the United States, Duratolo is a hard-working forward in the modern game. 38th event for Zach Test, and a big moment and big call for coach Matt Hawkins to start Zach Nizel in jersey number 10. Fiji back in their traditional white shirts. And the race to actually sprint to try and get the ball at halfway. And the match to be controlled by Englishman Ian Tempest in his 32nd match of the World Series. And what a moment for that Englishman and Ben Ryan. First season as coach of the Fijians.
That's your man. Semi!
Captain, please. Time on, please. Semi, ready? Time on.
Neua gets us underway. And this the first match for these two teams, knocked forward by Fiji, and so possession for the Team USA. Duratolo, big and strong with the offload there, and now the Americans looking to take the Fijians on up the middle. The spin turn, and then the release from Edwards. One player out wide is Test. Test with the step and then the acceleration on the outside. Defence is good from Fiji, and they've been able to come across and make an all-important tackle down here on the flank. Neua, Folau Neua, throwing dummies, and then the beautiful ball to Duratolo. 3 defenders required to try and pull the big man down, but America still in possession. Patience being shown, but they've infringed by going off their feet and holding on to the ball, and the Fiji just like that want to get on with the game. Ratumbuli on Test. Duratolo comes across to help, and this is where Fiji is so dangerous when they hold on to possession and get it wide. They had plenty of players. Advantage here for America. A lot more physical approach from them.
Advantage over.
The advantage is over. Long passage of play for both these two teams. 90 seconds is gone.
Release. Rock.
In the match, we haven't had a break in play. Possession now controlled by the USA. Neua's been good in the opening stanza. Here's Duratolo yet again. Good tackle coming in from Kunatani. Neua with his 6th touch of the game. You can see it's taken its toll. Very hot conditions here in Dubai. As Test has the ball, stepping, and then the big wide pass out to Thomason.
Penalty advantage.
Crawling, trying to get valuable meters, and he's been penalised. Fiji. Illegal entry. Oh, Gavin Kelly, what a start.
Yeah, terrific start. Can't get a word in here. Really terrific start there, but unfortunately 2 knock-ons from Fiji and 1 from the kick-in that have really pressed them back into their 22.
Pleased everybody knows you're with me. That's nice. And here the USA decide to go for territory. There is Matt Hawkins.
Pretty illustrious career too for the Durban-born man, Matt Hawkins. Good to see that recent players, the same with Santiago Gomez-Cora as well, and that they, Simon Amor, that are very much part of this mix too from a management perspective.
And all-time tries, he's certainly on that list, and you can see the Americans now just wanting to slow the ball down, slow the game down, to play it at their pace. There's the feed, overthrown on that occasion, and then the knock forward, so no advantage.
Really a lot of changes too in the Fijian setup, and obviously, you know, rebuilding phase for them. It's really important for them to settle themselves, but of course to cut down the error base. You know, really 3 knock-ons in the early stages. They can't get out of their half of the field.
Well, when you look at the 12 players, only 66 caps. So a lot of new blood being introduced by coach Ben Ryan. There'll be some nervous people back in Fiji as they watch these pictures going live to them through the villages. 0-all, 3.5 gone as Duratolo now pops the pass up, and it's a beautiful pass, but it may have been forward, no advantage there to Thompson. In fact, they come again. Neu has been very efficient and effective in this match. Now they get it to Thomason, who gets it to Test. Has a player on the outside, Zach Test. That pass wasn't great, and here's where Fiji are so dangerous, because once they break, they can hurt you. Now it's a foot race. Shut the gate, though. This is the opening try for Fiji, and Vidi is very quick.
Well, it's a long try all the way from the goal line. Some terrific running there, and Fiji have really let themselves down in those opening minutes. Have seen the opportunity, and with that effort there from Notaranga down the touchline, some brilliant running, and Fiji are very much perhaps a confidence team too. That's really important for them to get some points on the board.
Well, he had the ambitions of being a professional rugby player. The cousin of Fijian rep, Ulai Lauavu, and of course his grandfather of the same name, who now lives in California. Played 24 tests at halfback for the Fijians over 7 seasons, and so good pedigree, good finish. There it is, the strike rate of the flying Fijians. Restart required to go the 10 metres, and it hasn't, so now Team USA, who have certainly dominated with possession and passes, get a chance to try and open their account. Back Andrew Duratolo with the offload to Neua. You can see the Fijians prepared to just scrag and let the player go to the ground, but not losing their feet themselves. And that's a big turn and spin from Thompson. Pops it back, and that's been lost forward, so we'll come to the scrum.
Been some impressive support play from the United States with a couple of the balls that they've just managed to pop up and keep the pressure on Fiji in their sort of close to their 22-metre line. But what they've got to really guard against is those little knock-ons.
Bind! Set!
Now the feed from Neua into the final minute of the first half as Edwards tries to break through the first tackle, gets to his feet very quickly and goes again. Good recycling. Mizell feeds it out. And Fiji guilty of illegal entry. The Americans 13th after the Gold Coast last week. Just looking to slow it down yet again. There are the penalties.
So they're just keeping them down there in the 22. Niua with that kick through. He's a player to watch too. A lot has been spoken about this man and his abilities, but a very high-paced game this for both teams. And I guess too that the States would really want to try and post some points now. They've been down here for a long time.
For Stephen Thomason, it's the way they've got to play the Fijians, is take the direct route to the try line, and that's what they did through the two experienced players of Duratola, Neua.
Well, straight route, very much the answer here, and Stephen Thomason making 100% sure of it. He's managed to hold off those tackles, and the man from San Diego State University gets the first try for the US of A.
Well, he only began playing rugby in February of 2012. So he's a success story in himself. This for the lead. Unable to add the extras, and so as we go to the break, all tied up here in Dubai. It is Team USA 5, Fiji 5. There's a lot of new players, I should say, but certainly not the Fiji that we used to see on day one.
No, it isn't, and they're really, I think they're really trying to settle. You know, they're trying to get their game going. There's probably a lot of nervousness, a lot of young players, a lot of players making their debut. Their key thing at halftime, I'm sure they must have spoken about it, is to keep down the error base. You know, they've given 9 balls away, and it's all been in their half of the field. The States have not punished them, though, so their defence is held pretty well, but they've just got to get their organisation better structured.
The restart for the second half between these two teams. Fiji in their traditional white shirt playing right to left and not releasing from the initial kickoff. Semitani gives away the penalty, and he's a class player as this man on screen, Zach Test. He's down and injured. He's so good at that restart. This ball needs to find the touchline. I think it has, yes, just. But Zach Test still down.
It's a big worry that for the US, 78 tries that man scored, and he's very much a core part of this team. Just forgot about his Movember in December.
Well, he's been named in the player of the tournament teams, and of course you can get involved in that if you want to stay with us on Twitter. You'll get your chance to vote who you think should be involved in the player of the tournament, or player team, dream team of the tournament rather. And just staying with Twitter for a moment as well, because a friend has just tweeted to say that to let your followers know, Eddie Jones, the Japanese coach, looked well at the presser today. First public appearance for Eddie Jones since he suffered his stroke, so fantastic news that a terrific ambassador and rugby man in Eddie Jones is back to full fitness. And now a breakaway from Fiji. The mistake, Ratumbuli tidies up and goes into contact, and now Fiji looking to try and score their second try. The turnover occurred. Kolini Sau frees up the space and the arms, and now he gets it free to Tuawai. Pio Tuawai, he's big, strong, fast, and he's going to finish it. The 30-year-old farmer goes over for Fiji in their second.
Just to add to those 35 tries that he scored in his World Series career. So number 36 then, Pio Tuawai. There was good support there again, and we know Fiji are terrific support runners, and they've got the pace and the strength to go with it. But it was the Americans chasing all the way. Zach Test, part of that mix.
Like the work from Kolini Sau, taking the gap and then releasing the ball there. We've seen quite a bit of Pio Tuawai, man from the prison team during the 90s, from the Voltua village on Ba.
Missed conversion there from Kalisina. But good thing for Fiji too is they're starting to play their rugby a little bit further from their goal line.
Well, I kind of wonder, Gavin, about these Americans. Of course, it was Thanksgiving Day for them yesterday, and that's a brilliant restart for Fiji. Here comes try number 3. Sangiwa, just like that, he's just come on the field. Here's Samu Sangiwa, and the ball just set up beautifully for him. He couldn't believe it. The 22-year-old on debut, or made his debut here in 2010. Look at that.
Let's look at the value
Competed,
of a good kick-in.
won it, and scored.
Absolutely terrific kick-in, and allows the pressure. Also, being taller players gives you the opportunity of getting up there. Sakiwa just got on, and another try.
Conversion is good now, and Fiji have just gone to that next level. Plate winners on the Gold Coast were Fiji. They lost to England in the Cup quarter-final, lost to Wales in group play, and beaten by England in the Cup quarter-final as well. So some changes. The Americans just can't get their hands on the ball. Just going back to the big day for the Americans yesterday was Thanksgiving, and so wonder how these players actually celebrated that, being away from home. Niua, he's been good. Brilliant turnover as well from Fiji. And it's come from Tani, and then they've got it out to Vidi. He'll go in to score his second, Fiji's fourth. And they punish you from the breakdown. Tani was the man that got over the ball, had all rights to it, retrieved it, and then once they got into the hands of the speed merchant, it was good night nurse.
Oh, Ben Ryan had those words to say at halftime, and it looks like they've pretty much got it together. Superb turnover this by Fiji, and of course they had all the support runners. They pulled the trigger, and very for try number 2.
Much better second half from Fiji, what we're witnessing. 19 unanswered points in the second half, and there's still 2 minutes to go. And the Americans have now called on Carla Niles He's on the field. One of the ambassadors of drug-free rugby, is one of the quickest men in world rugby, and he may get a chance to actually touch the ball here. You see him coming across in jersey number 1. Cullen Niles on the field for Team USA. Eludes the first tackle and then he tries to break away. Growing with every outing. There's the young man. So much been spoken about him. As the Americans twist and turn through Thomason, who scored their first try. Here's Test. Lovely feet, lovely stepping. And the Americans finally get outside their own 22. Test into contact again. Blair, who's another man that's just come on the field, now has to go in and clear it out. Fijians look for the counter ruck, but Thomason is there. Well, you can see the Americans are all just bunched. Now they've got it out to Isles, but it's been lost forward. And here is a danger man for Fiji. Out wide, the new man that's just come on the field, Mawalu, and he won't be caught. He's too quick. Mosesi Mawalu, here on debut. And the 20-year-old brother of Watasini Votu scores his first try on the HSBC 7 series.
Quite amazing that with a real change in the second half, a game of two halves, to coin that cliche. But Fiji have just really packaged themselves well. They found the runners, they found the men that can score the tries for them. And it's the US that have lost their structure in the second half that Fiji didn't have in the first.
The Americans guilty of also chasing the ball as opposed to keeping their width and moving the ball around. They're all running to where the ball is. And that's why as soon as the turnover occurred and they pushed it 2 passes, Fijians were away.
Look at the difference as well in passes completed. At 40 by the US, and just 11 by Fiji, but they've made everyone count.
Sometimes they've only needed to pass it one time, haven't they? Somebody in space. Guilty here, the Americans, of Cullen Niles just going straight off his feet. Not allowing it to be a contest. Mawalu, now they pass it. This is another one of the new players. Tuitonga, looking for a run, it's come back on the cut. Naikasu accepts and then he pops it up. That's been knocked back by the Americans, and here is Isles. Here he goes, Cullen Niles breaks away. Now it's a foot race. Cullen Niles. Isles on Kolini Sal. Isles twists, turns, and the Fijians showing just how dangerous he is. Coming across, well, that's American-style pass from Kolini Sal in between his legs. As Naikasu has it. And now Kolini Sal looking to try and free it out wide. Mawalu, one player to beat, and Mosesi Mawalu scores his second. Coast to coast for the Fijians. The defensive work by Kolini Sal was outstanding, and there's the finisher.
Well, I'm pretty sure Ben Ryan's got some players to work with taking it forward. There's some real youngsters here making their debut, and they've really played well in the second half. They've just got the action going. And they won very comfortably against the US. Cullen Niles closed in. Just watch how well Fiji defended. Yeah, they just herded him into a corner to make sure that he couldn't get away. And despite the fact that the pass went back, just the Fijians were on the ball very quickly on the ground.
Well, we haven't seen too much of this young man, the 20-year-old Mosesi Mawalu. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of him over the next 2 days here in Dubai. Tremendous finish for Fiji. 5-all at the break, 31 unanswered points in the second half. Fiji too good, winning 36-5. Let's have a look at the match stats there. 33 tackles completed for Fiji, so possession and territory, everything going the Americans' way except the result in the middle there. And let's hear from Fijian coach Ben Ryan.
Well, Ben, nobody quite knows what to expect from Fiji and these newcomers. You're probably in the same boat, are you?
A little bit. I've obviously seen what they've been doing at training, and I've been really impressed with their work ethic and their togetherness. And yeah, we had to defend for large periods in the first half there before we started to open up a bit. And credit to USA there. You know, they tested us, and it was an obvious plan for them to go to line-out, where I'm sure they think we're weak, but we dealt with it well.
You mentioned their training. What have you been concentrating on since the Gold Coast?
Flogging them every session, so working them hard. And a couple of other things that, you know, I'll keep to myself, but the boys know we'll make some big improvements so we can get it right.
Canada and England coming up.
Yeah, a lot of respect for Canada. I think they're a very good side, and obviously they've got only one chance really now to get into the cup by beating us. So we've got to rest, recover, and then get ourselves out and then go up another level for the next game.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, cheers.